Hi! This week we're going to explore a second use for the academic word kit that we developed in the last post. And I learned this version of the activity from a workshop with Linda Berry and Ebony Flowers, a workshop that they presented at the University of Toronto in April 2017. So the first thing you're going to need to do is pull out your word kit. So your words and your questions. And if you haven't yet made your academic kit, then I'll post a link to that video in the blog. So go ahead and do that first. So you're going to need your words and your questions, and then you'll also need to think about a scholar whose work you use in your own research. Someone whose work you know relatively well. So you've got someone in mind, and then pull a word and a question from your kit. When I did this earlier today, I pulled out the word illness and the question, what do blank and monsters have in common? And so my question was, what do illness and monsters have in common? So the twist this time is that I'm going to write my answer out in the form of an interview. I'm going to be interviewing, in my imagination, the scholar that I selected. So let's say that I chose Dorothy Holland, whose work I already discussed in another video, How is Blank Like Blank? And I'm going to set my timer for 7 minutes and write out a conversation between me and Dr. Holland in response to this question. So I start with me asking the question, followed by a response from Dr. Holland, and continue from there. Who knows where it'll go? You might go off on a tangent. You might discover, something that you haven't thought about before. Don't worry about being correct. Don't overthink it. 7 minutes, and you'll have something like this. I came up with a series of sort of comments that I thought Dorothy Holland might make in response to the question, and some more questions and comments from me. When you're finished, for extra bonus points, you can make a 4-panel comic out of your interview. So draw yourself and your chosen scholar in 4 different contexts doing something. So that makes the comic a little bit more interesting. So here I'm giving Dorothy Holland a bowl of soup. We're climbing a mountain, we're swimming, and here we're just chatting. And I chose a few quotes from the writing and used them as captions for the comic. So I also scanned this in, and I will post this within the blog post for this video. So that's today, short and sweet. I hope you enjoy this activity and come up with some really interesting interviews with your scholar friends.